picture is on a stamp in Yemen, and it hangs on a wall at the Yemen airport right next to the president. Here he comes.
This guy has power. He doesn't look like it. Like Muhammad Ali, you're supposed to whip him, but for some reason, you don't.
I'm young, cool, calm and collected, confident, extraordinary, powerful, you name it, I've got it.
Naz, love him or hate him, is good for boxing, and as you saw again tonight, he packs a wallop.
I'd love to box him. I'd love to box anybody. I'd knock any featherweight out. Do you know what I mean? All I have to do is turn up. I've already won.
It all starts in the dirt. Brendan Ingle was well known in Sheffield. Like any good boxing coach, he found young men with little opportunity and gave them something to do. He put his fighters to work both in the gym and the community. One of those young men was a 7-year-old son of Yemeni immigrants named Naseem Hamed. He dug with dirty hands and planted seeds, watered them, and watched them grow. Brendan Ingle did the same, just with people.
I'm going to take over. I'm bringing boxing to a new era.
Hamed had the makings of a superstar. He had everything you want to make money in the fight game. He had a wild and outgoing personality.
I've got a heart of a lion. What are you saying, Will? Did you hear that? Heart of a lion. No chest infection, no cold, no excuses. Business was done.
He produced beautiful feats of athleticism.
Hard left gut, and Vasquez is wobbling as he's use of the shoulder.
Even his entrance was a show.
This guy's beautiful. He's the prince of entertainment.
His bizarre style carried Ingle's trademark stand switching and unorthodoxy.
He's trying to do all this for the Sheffield fans. He's playing to the audience.
He hung his hands at his hips as a trap.
Right away, but still enough. Just like you called it, the Prince won the 6th round.
If you missed and he caught you with his shoryuken of an uppercut, you woke up a day later with a good amount of your past missing.
Best shots is going to do him in this round. It's all over in the center.
This Molina is.
He had the power to control time like the Prince of Persia.
Never ever gonna lose. Blatantly. I ain't losing nothing. I want to show all America that I'm the best featherweight in the world.
By 1995, he's fought his way into a title shot. The reigning champion was a lad from down the road in Wales.
Begins to fall, and it's getting heavier. 12 rounds for the WBO featherweight championship. Practice at this point.
They might probably expect a very fast start from Hamed.
He gets to one, let's see.
Yes, it certainly looks that way. He's
Good right uppercut that from Hamed.
he followed that uppercut. He brought it right from the floor, right at the middle.
Punching him, but Robinson's not buying that.
Steve Robinson had a spotty early career, but a crack at a vacant title saw him rise to the occasion, then dominate as champion, posting 7 straight defenses.
Simply a slip. It's still raining here.
Steve was a celebrity in Cardiff. In front of his home crowd, Hamed posted one of the most brilliantly disrespectful performances in boxing history.
After coming out of that defensive shell, and he's managed to. The Welsh crowd would love to have those smiles wiped up his faces.
The line between arrogance and disrespect is a line each person draws for themselves. The brilliance of that was put on display for all to see.
Suddenly a shuffle. Hamed.
Good defensive work there from Hamed.
Robinson, oh, he's got him.
He has knocked down some beautiful punches. And he just got him with that right uppercut.
But is it the last?
As he looks tired, hurt, getting
So far, he's just been playing with it.
While his antics were over the top, nothing was going to outshine his skills or his impeccable instinct.
In the last couple of rounds, maybe. And that's lost his footing a bit too. As he slipped in the corner, and Prince Naseem Hamed is now king.
The champion of the world, Prince Naseem Hamed.
I'm just too good. I proved it on the night. I proved what I was going to say from the age of 11, 18 when I first started as a professional. I was going to be world champion.
After posting a pair of quick and brutal defenses of his title, the Prince faced Manuel Medina. Medina was a savvy veteran with nearly 60 fights under his belt.
Prince, you know, Medina thinks he's actually quicker, even though Ahmed's got some great speed. Certainly, though, he's probably not the better puncher. That movement, give him a better chance to hit him. There you see, Medina and Hamed.
Hamed's punching power is overrated. Look out! And it could backfire on him.
Well, this kid must have a very heavy punch.
Hamed 22-0 with...
Medina had seen it all. Everything but the Prince's leaping left hand. Medina had the poise to get up and the grit to not go quietly.
He's trying. Mixing wildly with the very high. Here in Dublin. Wild. Here's a lunging straight right hand. The WBO featherweight champion. The average is 3.5 rounds. He's put off balance by Medina.
He fights like a swarm of bees. They come from all angles and all places. No rhyme or reason to fighting this guy.
And a right hand by Medina. And Hamed gets down to the punch.
Medina's getting that right hand in. I don't know if he's got that much power in it, but sure getting it.
He dug deep and refused to go down without a fight.
Jumps in, got to step right in. Fire.
His reach and volume put a damper on the Prince's party.
Right hand.
Medina maybe.
Well, let me tell you, the Prince comes up.
Combination by Hamed.
But talent tells over time.
Once again, back to the chokehold, and he gets it. Medina backing up, backpedaling.
Back. It's a fighting retreat. That's not just a retreat.
The deep 8th round. As mentioned, it's been some time.
In round 11, the Prince switched stances and rocked Medina on a right hand.
And low blows by Hamed on the front jet, and then wheels away.
He spent the rest of the round punishing his lanky opponent.
Left attack. Combination to the head by Hamed now stalking, coming straight right hand, Medina.
And the doctor thought better of round 12.
To protect Medina from suffering further punishment, he's the winner by way of technical knockout, Prince Naseem Hamed. Featherweight championship of the world.
Hamed took on Tom Johnson. Johnson was 44-2-2 and the IBF 126-pound champion. Nas held the WBO. The unification was held in London.
We'll find out. Here we go.
Johnson's a smart veteran. He's going to try and take the kid to school, but this is not just an ordinary kid, so he's got his work cut out for him.
Champion and a
Unorthodox style and angle that a punch comes from.
It was a tactical battle between two tough and talented champions.
Not necessarily duck those, see the Prince leap in like that, just crouching cover.
It was fought at long range, where the unequaled foot speed of the Prince could carry most of the rounds. Tom was forced to try and time a left-handed lightning strike. Hamed caught the American on a short left hand up close that made his legs melt beneath him. Tom tried to fight back, which was the wrong decision.
Legs are not under him, Steve.
Bill Johnson, his trainer, wants him to shorten up those punches.
But nothing on it. See, nothing explosion here after these last two fights we
It
had.
was a body shot, it was clean. The head shot, he's been winding up to.
The more he threw, the more punches he took.
Almost like he did against Medina. Misses with the straight right, lands with the straight. An exclusion by Hamed, who continues to air it out.
Stop. He keeps coming forward and he's in trouble.
Tom Johnson up against the ropes in his corner. Johnson's in
right out of the break, and he punches the
staggers Johnson. Johnson fighting back. Johnson in trouble though.
Halfway through the 8th, Hamed switches stances. Tom looks lost. Tries to duck in low. The Prince finishes on an uppercut that would make Sub-Zero proud.
Hamed.
You've coming to America, who's next? Who's going to give you any kind of a fight?
I'll fight any of them. I'll fight absolutely any of them. There's brilliant fighters out there that are going to give me a fight, but I know I'm destined to be a legend, and it's a matter of time before I be a legend, you know.
By this time, Prince Naseem was British royalty. The posters for his fights usually didn't even show his opponent, because most of the time, the opponent didn't really matter. A Naseem Hamed fight would sell out almost any arena in the world, regardless of who he fought. After 4 more defenses of his title, the prince crosses the pond to make his American debut. This time, the opponent did matter.
He's right in front of me, and I can honestly tell him that I'm going to knock him spark out. I'm going to knock his spark out.
What are you going to say to that, Kevin?
Relax, relax, you won't get knocked out.
Kevin Kelly was 47-1 and a lefty just like Nas. Hamed's over-the-top intro was the appetizer for 4 of the wildest rounds in the history of boxing.
Swelling on both eyes in the Alejandro Gonzalez fights, and he's been in too many wars.
While Hamed was the favorite, Kevin Kelly was a man whose respect had to be earned. In the first round, Kevin drops the prince on a vicious right hook coming out of the corner.
First time he's been in the ring with a fighter of Kevin Kelly's class. The wonderful thing coming into tonight was you knew that anything could happen.
Things go from bad to worse when Kelly drops him twice in quick succession.
For Kevin Kelly.
Hamed comes back to put Kelly down on a straight right. There were 6 knockdowns in 4 rounds.
In return. Down goes Kelly on 2 hard left hands.
But when the smoke clears, the prince stands triumphant in the new world. It wouldn't be the last time.
Kevin, you're probably one of the best I've boxed, if not the best. I know I'm the best you've boxed, and he said that to me and all. And we've got great respect for each other, but at the end of the day, I am the world champion, and people have got to realize that I am the champion of the world.
Hamed was now commanding multi-million-dollar paydays. Every fight, his ego and his entrances only got bigger. Finally, Brendan Ingle and his star pupil split. He couldn't keep the superstar in check anymore. Hamed went to renowned trainer Manny Stewart to continue his career. The two celebrated the partnership at the expense of overmatched South African Vuyani Bundu.
This is a man who is not going quietly into the London night any more than he did into the East London, South Africa night, Jim.
Touch him up.
Less highly significant if you come from the kind of poverty as fighting out of his
that you really just got to get a knockout by
rather than for him here.
The prince looked pretty much perfect.
His trainer elected not to get into the ring in front of the fighter that time, but rather allowed the cut man Paddy Burke from Bundu. And there's a hard left hand for the prince. He turns around, make a better explanation if you want to be charitable.
Leaving Bundu face down in the 4th on a straight left.
Both McCullough and Soto off the survive. Down goes Bundu on a left hand shot up the middle.
There goes.
Hamed returned to the U.S. with appropriate extravagance to take on Augie Sanchez. Augie wasn't concerned about the prince's power. Augie hit pretty hard himself.
And here he does have the right stand-up fighter. Left hook.
hand that time. That's not a good sign.
He threw only 28 punches in the first round.
In the second, he clear as day drops Hamed to the canvas. It was a blood-for-blood fight for survival.
Sitting around watching with their hearts in their throats, thinking, here goes my million if this guy goes down. And that's it. And now Sanchez comes back with a right hand of his own.
With a terrible referee.
Big chances in the first 3 rounds here.
Not that it would matter in the end. Augie was holding his own until round 4. He went straight at the Prince and ended up flatlined.
Punching power of Prince Naseem
Hamed had enough of boxing. Every fight since Steve Robinson had required him to get cortisone injections into his hands. There were 54 small bones locked in a struggle with the most explosive pair of legs in featherweight history. His outrageous power was a double-edged sword. When Hamed hit something, something wasn't the only thing that got hurt anymore. Now he had everything he could want, all the money in the world, and nobody left to tell him no. At least nobody he respected enough to listen to. When Hamed turned up to camp for an upcoming scrap with Mexican great Marco Antonio Barrera, he was 35 pounds overweight. Manny knew it was going to be a long camp. Hamed ran himself ragged, just making weight. While his entrance carried all the pomp and ceremony it always did, the moment the Prince stepped through the ropes, instead of his trademark front flip, you knew something was off. From the opening bell, Barrera had no respect for royalty. Hamed winged his wild shots before dipping off. Barrera threw finely organized combinations that caught the Prince with his hands down.
The slugging match with the Prince.
Barrera is not looking in.
Big left hand by Barrera. Round 1 is over.
It was a war, but round after round, Marco proved not just the Prince's equal, but his better. The only thing that kept Hamed standing was an iron chin.
Fighting the way he is.
The beating he took from Marco was as disrespectful as anything he did to his past opponents.
He gets hit because Barrera is an excellent boxer who steps inside and asserts himself as he did right there.
Barrera, he's going to have to climb it, bring it down, close to the chin, pick up the power.
As stalking and trying to land that left cross. Big left hook by Barrera.
Yeah, but he hasn't thrown anything with it.
Naz will not come back with any shot.
That the Prince has developed since he was a boy is being exposed.
The cherry on the Hamed hater's sundae was Marco slamming him into the turnbuckle in the final round of a clear, unanimous decision.
Torture.
Marco Antonio Barrera.
Hamed retired soon after. He remains the most controversial featherweight of all time. The most difficult to evaluate how good he actually was in a historical context. All I know about Prince Naseem Hamed is this: he's the greatest showman in featherweight history. Defended his title 15 times and was almost as good as even he thought he was.